Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, Brother Guy. Today, I'm going to be doing a nice media update for One Championships news. Just a little bit of a disclosure for the episode so far. If you see me dipping in energy, I just wanted to give you guys a disclaimer right now. I have been going some tough times, in my personal life. Nothing I'm going to go and explain in depth, but just bear with me. That's all I'm going to say for now. Just bear with me. But anyway, let's bring up my ticket tape. And also, we're going to go through a couple of stories that's happening in the One Championship so far, starting with the headliner news that made waves so far. The One Championship has signed Nadaka Yoshinari for the Atomweight division. And I remember there was a time when he fought on the one fight contract on 172. That was the Japanese fight card, as you can see there on the right side of the screen. Nadaka made a statement for the One Championship that he would only sign for one championship if he's going to be fighting for an atomweight title. Now, firstly, super stoked that he's here. Super stoked that they finally made the signing because, damn it, what an exciting fighter this guy really is. He's only 24 years old and he's got so many accolades. He's got so many titles already. And I'm just a fan, just a hella fan. I mean, he beat up Rak Erwan at that 172, and Rak is a very, very good atomweight contender. Very close to actually becoming one of those contacted or even potentially one of the high ranked opponents in the atomweight division. Um, but the way Nadaka Yoshinari disposed of him in that fight was just something to be watched, something to actually appreciate because of the style of what he used. And he's a very different style for this Muay Thai division and for the sport, actually, because he fights so different. Exciting times ahead. So now that he's signed, the question goes out: who's he going to fight next, or who should he be fighting as his debut fight for the One Championship? Right. So I'm going to go into my next tab of Tetsuya, who's the other source that I've been following for on Twitter. I'll put all the descriptions. I'll put all the links in our description box for where I found pretty much all this news updates. Nick Atkins on his Twitter page as well as his YouTube page, which he had a live episode he did on Monday, speaking about these updates. So on screen, as you can see, is what Tetsuya posted on Twitter just a few days ago. Once the announcement is made, Nadaka Yoshinari has signed for one championship, and I actually think this will be a fantastic matchup, considering that Song Chanoi is pretty much the guy to go for in the atomweight division. I mean, I think he has one loss so far in the one championship. In that division, I think everyone else he kind of smoked, knocking people out, packs a lot of power, even though he's only 5'2", hits like a truck, right? But as you can see on screen there, the headline is "It's time for a rematch." So I didn't know that these guys had fought before. So I'm going to watch the fight. It is on YouTube. I'll try and get the link for that one as well and put it in the description box for you. They had fought before outside of one championship, and Yoshinari knocked him out within the third round. He put Song Chanoi away in the third round. Beautiful elbow, but he was also piecing him up, building up for that stoppage. I mean, Yoshinari is something else, man. He really is one of the most cerebral kind of fighters you will see currently to this day. He won that fight, like I said, by a third round stoppage. And I think actually it's the fight to make, considering that Song Chanoi, if you go and look at his statistics at the One Championship currently, he is the guy to be fighting. Right? I'm surprised that there wasn't actually a title made already before having Nadaka Yoshinari come into the One Championship. Because I think Song Chanoi would have been a fantastic champion to have in the time being. But okay, now that Yoshinari is here, I actually am in an agreement for this matchup. I don't think, especially considering that Yoshinari smoked Rak in such a devastating fashion, I would say give him Song Chanwei as a nice rematch and a debut fight that for that inaugural atomweight title. I mean, I think let's make. And also, Japan needs a Muay Thai champion. They really do need a Muay Thai champion. I think the world want to see a Muay Thai champion come out of Japan. So this is the fight to make. And how soon are they going to make it? I don't know. I think Song Chanoi is fit and ready. I also think that Yoshinari is also fit and ready. I would say, if not in June, maybe late June, maybe early July, make this fight happen. I think we do need an atomweight champion as soon as possible. And dude, that's a fight to make. Honestly, give me your thoughts in the comments, please, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about that matchup? And also, what do you think about the signing of Nadaka Yoshinari? I mean, I think exciting times coming for the One Championship, especially because if you think about what numbers they have gotten from that Japan card in Saitama Arena 1172, I do believe that if One Championship is smart about this decision, You should maybe actually put the American fans on hold, just like like they have now decided since Stamford has been injured, they're moving the Denver card until next year. I think that's not a bad idea, even though they could have made other fights. But I do think that after watching Nick Atkins' podcast yesterday, it makes a lot of sense about um, why they moved the card. Even though you can put a bunch of title fights on that fight card, are they going to sell out in the American crowd? Are they going to hit the American market the way they wanted to? I'm not so sure. I do think Rodtang, Stamford X, fighters like that would carry the US card a little bit better than fighters that's coming out of Japan, your Thai guys. I do think that they made a smart decision there. So in the interim, while that's happening, gaining a lot of the Japanese audiences is actually a very smart decision because there's some deadly fighters coming out of Japan, particularly within the 4-ounce gloves and in kickboxing. Big move to make. So what they should do is continue what they're doing now, bring in a lot more Japanese athletes, have another Japanese card in 2025, and then next year you can tap into the American market again. Because realistically, they have kind of lost a lot of the American athletes and the ones who have a big pull in America. They kind of lost that a little bit. And I think that's probably also why we have the Rotolo brothers moving into MMA, because then that could be the new MMA stars coming out of the US, and they can go back to Denver for that. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. My next talking point, before I move on to that one, let me know your thoughts, obviously, about the signing of Nadaka Yoshinari and who he should be fighting in his debut, and should that debut fight be for the Atomweight title. Now I'm going to move on to some other news, but staying with Japan, also coming out of Tetsuya's Twitter account, or X, if you will, is the update on Yuki Yoza says that he has his sights set on Jonathan Haggerty's bantamweight kickboxing belt within 2025. I think that's a massive statement for me personally, because it kind of shows you where the headspace is at of Yuki Yoza and why he actually made the signing of coming into one championship. Because you have to remember that he actually had to relinquish the bantamweight kickboxing title to make the signing to come to the one championship, which is quite interesting because it's like, and he's not even that old, he's only 27 years old, so it's like he's in his prime. He's got another like 7 years left for him to actually still be in his prime before you start seeing a decline, and like wiping out people in Glory and in K1, multiple divisions as well. Why would you leave all of that? You know what I mean? To come to one championship. The only thing that makes sense to me is that one championship is kind of guaranteeing him or giving him a path to the title that he can kind of see fit, or he can see clear. Now, we know that Yuki Yoza is debuting this Friday at the One Championships Friday Fights card 109. And we'll be doing a preview for that for you guys tomorrow, not today, just because, yeah, again, like I said in the beginning of the episode, some tough times at the moment. So I'm going to need some time to reset myself before doing that again. It's lost me to conjure up all this energy to actually record right now. Yuki Yoza is debuting against Albertus Osmanov this Friday. So if he gets through Osmanov, does he get a title shot? Maybe. I mean, the weight, the pedigree, and also the, what do you call it? The status that he brings into the one championship does kind of guarantee that. I mean, when the one championship signed Takeru Sagawa, he got a title fight immediately. His first fight was against Super Leg for the flyweight kickboxing. That was literally his first fight. So I think Yuki Yoza does have the same kind of pull. I mean, of course, he's not the same status as Takeru, but I mean, he's pretty much right there in the same gym, in the same camp. So I do think there's enough weight that he can throw around to sort of guarantee that shot if he gets through Albertus Osmanov. Even though Osmanov is currently on a 7-fight win streak, he's undefeated in the one championship. I just don't think that beating Osmanov is going to get that title shot. Personally, I don't think so. Because Osmanov, if you look at the people, the athletes that he has fought in the one championship, none of those guys were close to getting the title shot either. So I just personally feel like if Yuki Yoza, which I think he's going to, by the way, gets through Alvarez Osmanov, I think give him another fight and someone that is actually ranked, right? I would say someone like Wei Rui would be a fantastic fight. He just fought Jonathan Haggerty for the title and went 5 rounds with him. Yeah, he got outclassed by Jonathan Haggerty round 2 to 5. But I mean, as a former title challenger, and also prior to that win, he was on a 30-fight win streak, 20-odd fight win streak. That was his first loss in 20-odd fights. So I think giving Yuki Yoza someone like Wei Rui would be a perfect test for Yuki Yoza to get to the title shot if he wins that fight. Because obviously, Jonathan Haggerty's next fight is most likely going to be Rodtang, according to some of the news that's coming out. I don't know. I don't want it to be that fight, but that's probably what's going to happen, which then means that Yuki Yoza is going to have to get another fight first before getting someone like Jonathan Haggerty. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments, please, ladies and gentlemen, about who you think Yuki Yoza should fight after he gets through, if and when he gets through Albertus Osmanov. Should he get Jonathan Haggerty immediately, or should he get another fight after that? And if he should get another fight after Albertus Osmanov, who should that fight be? Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to some extra news. It's going to be news on news on news on news. We are going to move on to, but I'm going to bring it up like this instead because a few tabs to get through. That's going to help me navigate this conversation. So, some more news that came out of One Championship over the course of the past few days. So, if you don't know, Denice Zamboanga has got promoted to Atomweight MMA champion after Stampy Fetex was unable to make. She got injured and now she was unable to make the Denver fight card, which is why it was moved. So they promoted Denice Zamboanga to become champion because she's still active and she can still fight. There has been questions around who she should get next. If I'm not mistaken, someone was talking about not Ayaka Miura. There was another fighter, another athlete that we're talking about. But Denise was saying that she prefers to get Ayaka Miura because she has been consistent, and that's pretty true. I mean, she's been fighting quite actively. Let me just try and find that other post. This is a weird way that I'm doing this on episode right now, but there was something that Nick Atkins had posted based on that information. I'll get it now on screen. There we go. There we go. Okay, so Denice Zamboanga isn't backing down from Ham Suhi's trilogy, but says the rematch won't look anything like the first two. That was a long time ago. Denise says that Ham fought last time is a different Denise. Yeah, I think she needs to have one more win. Let's just get it on full screen. There we go. I think she needs one more win to get back her momentum. That was a long time ago. Denise. So I'm saying, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't fought in a while. I think she fought maybe last 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, I'll get that name out and see who she fought last. But I remember correctly, she actually lost that fight. But going back to what Denise was talking about, in terms of who she should be fighting next, she spoke about fighting Ayaka Miura, and I kind of agree with that one because Ayaka Miura for me has definitely done enough to warrant that. Right, she's got a 4 or 5 fight win streak, having all of it be finishes, except for the one against Hiruka. I think Hiruka. Let me just get that out. Let's look at her. There we go. She's on a four. Yeah, I was like 4 fight winning streak. Right, all of it were submissions against top athletes. Right, Meng Bo, Itsuka Hirata. That was the only one that's gone to decision. There was kind of just an overwhelming grappling match. No one really got submissions in that fight. She beat Macarena Aragon by submission first round, and she beat Ritu Pogat by first round. And all of that submissions were done with exactly the same move. So I do think that there's some warranted argument there from Denice Zamboanga who, in terms of that Ayaka Miura should be the next opponent against her for that Atomweight strap. Makes a lot of sense. I think they should make that very soon to keep that division very active so that when the time comes for Stamp coming back, there will be some other opponents lined up if she doesn't get the immediate title shot, which I think she's going to, by the way. But I mean, regardless, if she wins and loses that fight, there will be a list of fighters that she can take on. Because if you look at that list, Rito Pogat, Macarena Aragon, Meng Bo, and Itsuka, not so much Itsuka, but the other three I've just mentioned, they have been active 2024 into 2025. So I would love to see this fight between Ayaka Miura versus Denice Zamboanga. Um, Also on a 4 fight winning streak. That would be a beautiful fight for us to watch. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with that matchup? Do you think that Hang Sung-hee should actually be the one to get the fight instead of Ayaka Miura? I don't know. I don't know. I'm in the camp of having Ayaka Miura get the fight just because of the activeness. She's been very consistent, and at the moment she's on a momentum, and she deserves it. She's done enough for me to deserve that title shot. So let's get that fight going, ladies and gentlemen. Right, let's move on to our next headline, which I'm super amped for, is one of my favorite fighters to watch. We've got Allycia Hellen Rodrigues taking on Shir Cohen at one fight night 32, June 6th or June 7th. I think for us it's going to be June 7th, as I'm in South Africa. um, this is going to be a fantastic. It's not going to be Friday, it's going to be Saturday for us. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait for this fight. Shir Cohen, powerful puncher, really hits for hard. She's young, 24, vibrant, but she's taking on a deadly athlete in Allycia Hellen Rodrigues. One of my favorite fighters to watch. Um, She's currently the champion in Atomweight. She was the 2 division, but she lost that fight against, there we go, Smillis and Dow. But I mean, look, they're beating Stamp, beating Janet Todd. Those are 2 former champions in Muay Thai. Christina Morales didn't stand a chance. Marie McManam didn't stand a chance. Allycia's just hella aggressive. Like, the way to beat her, you have to do what Smillis and Dow did. I do kind of feel like the weight up in that fight was a bit too tough for Rodrigues, too much muscle, got too tired within the first 2 rounds. And also the style of Smith Sandal, it's just overwhelming pressure, knees after knees. It's hard to kind of face someone like that. But I do think Rodrigues is the rightful champion in this division, and she's also very powerful. Shir Cohen, a bit younger, 24 years old, 3-fight win streak in the one championship, beating the one noticeable win is against Francesca Vera, who beat Vero in the last fight. That was really amazing to watch. Amy Perney, she beat as well by unanimous decision. Yeah, good fighter, dude. Very competent, very fast, goes in there. But I just think that the durability and the aggression of Rodrigues is just going to be too much for her. I think Rodrigues is just, she's a pit bull, man. She's hard to beat. Her mindset is correct. She's got the right technique. And if you're beating fighters like Jenna Todd and Stamp Fretics in Muay Thai, that says a lot about what elite level of striking Allycia Rodrigues really is. So I'm a big fan, and I think she's going to win that fight. On top of that, I just wanted to quickly go to upcoming. She is fighting at there we go, Fight Night 32, massive fight card. This is also going to have look there. Nakrob's fighting on against Chao Sugai, Ali Behruz Rasulov versus Marisa Bevi, Rambo Lek, Dmitry Kovton, Johan Kazali, Stupanant. Look at this. It's a leaf. Dude, this is a sick fight card that they put together here for us, and I cannot wait for it. And I do think that even though we had the sad news of losing the Denver fight card, I think this is a very good fight card to look forward to as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have today. Let me know your thoughts about the news updates that we've spoken about the matchups. Stay tuned for our preview for One Fight Night 109 that's taking place on Wednesday evening. And this fight card will be Friday because it is a Friday fight card at 2:30 South African time. And woo, it's massive. It's a massive fight card. Oh, you sick. Oh, you sick. Anyway, I will reserve my opinions about these matchups that's going to be taking place this Friday when I do the preview um, tomorrow or Wednesday. I won't say tomorrow, but Wednesday. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you made this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, more importantly, in the comments about these matchups, the breaking news that's come out of One Championship, and also like future matchups. Let's get the banter going. Let's get the banter going nice and swimmingly. And you also catch us updating regularly on our Twitter page, Fighting with Friends on Twitter as well, X. Have a look at that. But for now, have a fantastic week. Stay safe out there. Love all. Love for the love. And I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.